Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Hit Game Show recapping 2020. I'm your host, Tyler Spears, and I'm going to be taking you guys through the best recaps of 2020 today. First off, let's go through some insane numbers for 2020. In the past year, I've come out with 76 videos. Absolutely insane. That's like 1.25 every single week. We've mounted up over 2,000 subscribers in 2020, and along with that, we've also gotten 216,000 views on the channel. So guys, right now, thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this, it's literally free and you can change your mind at any time. In this game show, I'm going to be ranking a lot of the things I did in 2020, starting with the worst thing and working up to the best thing that happened. So the title of this video is ranking my best races of 2020. So let's go ahead and start with that one. Now 2020, it was obviously a pretty weird year for racing. I only had one official race this entire year since pretty much everything was canceled. But I was able to do 2 time trials as well, which were not my best races. So overall, I managed to do 3 races in 2020, so much less than a normal year. 2021, I'll have a whole lot more, but my worst race in 2021, number 3, was my 1 mile race back in May. So it had been over a year since I'd been on the track for any race, so I really wanted to get out there and race a mile. I got some of my high school teammates in to help me out. At the time of the race, I was pretty out of shape. I was coming off like a month of not training while I was in Spain, so I had the goal of just breaking 5. I thought that'd be easy enough. But then as the race played out, I literally ended up running 5:01, which was just such a disappointing result, and that's why it's my worst race of 2020. So yeah, guys, that one did not go well at all. It was even worse than a workout, honestly. Such a bad race. And now my middle one, my second best race, my second worst race at the same time, was the 2 mile time trial I did back in Los Angeles in late September in celebration of 2,000 subscribers. Now we're already at 3,000. So this race was a celebration, but it was not a celebration of good times. Going into this race, I was super stoked because I thought I was in absolutely amazing shape, but it turns out that running a 2 mile on a boardwalk with Hoka Cliftons is not exactly the way to PR. I ended up running 10:58, which was probably 30 seconds slower than I thought I'd run, and I was extremely humbled because Zach literally did 3 by 2 mile after pacing me for my 1 time trial. And then finally, for my number 1 race, could we get a drum roll? Number 1 race, only the longtime subscribers are gonna remember. Back in February, I ran my first ever half marathon, and it went amazing. So guys, 2 weeks before this race, I literally was so sick. I hadn't been running, so I was amazed by how well I did in this. I ended up running 81:44, which is like 6:14 pace. Absolutely insane. Never expected anything like it. Puts the other 2 time trials to shame. So that's one segment, and now as my next segment of the show, I want to rank my 3 most important, iconic, groundbreaking videos that I put up on the channel in 2020. Okay, so there were a lot of iconic videos on the channel in the last year, like the video where I moved to Spain, or a couple of the workout videos where you can really see my progression as a runner. But these are the top 3. It's gotta be the best of the best. So starting off our ranking, number 3 was My Entire Life is Changing, where I said I was going to LA. Despite this basically just being an update video, it did so much. It led into all of my West adventures. It led me to do 2 videos a week, which I'm still doing now. And it was also the beginning of a huge training block where I got so much faster. This set off a huge catalyst of 30 videos when I was out West. Great times. And speaking of great times, this next video is probably one of the worst times on my channel. The real old subscribers are gonna remember this one, and it is the second most iconic video on this channel, which is literally everything went wrong in Malta. For those of you who don't know, when I was in Spain, I visited Malta for a few days, and while I was in Malta, as the title says, literally everything went wrong. I broke my drone, I broke my camera, and I got stranded in Malta for days because I didn't have my passport. it was a nightmare, but I was able to survive and overcome, which is why it's the second most important video on the channel. So that was a super sad one. I was crushed that video. But surprisingly, it wasn't the video where I showed the most emotion on this channel. And a lot of you guys are gonna remember this video. The number one, most iconic, most important, most groundbreaking video that I put up on this channel was one I recorded in Utah a few months ago, why I'm breaking 16 minutes in the 5K. So I originally recorded this video just to kind of give you guys some idea of what drove me, but it ended up getting so much more emotional. I remember recording it and thinking about all the failure, and it really drove me to share everything with you guys, which is why I feel like it's such an important video for my channel. So guys, that one really motivates me for the future. I'm super excited to try to break 16 in the spring. But now, to wrap up the game show, to wrap up the video, I want to rank my 5 most favorite videos that I've put up on the channel in 2020. And of course, you guys comment below right now and tell me what your favorite video is that I posted in 2020, the one you remember the most, that you most want to see something like again. Okay, so coming in at the number 5 spot is moving to Spain alone at 20 years old. Part of the reason why I love this one so much is because it was at the very beginning of 2020 and there was so much hope for the year. And it was just so awesome flying to Spain and starting this new life and exploring Barcelona for the first time. And I still look back on it and just yearn for that time. And so while I was in Spain, I had this video idea to run across Andorra and title it like running across the country. But obviously with COVID, I was sent home and I wasn't able to do it. Which brings us to the number 4 video, which is I ran across 3 states in one day. I figured the next best thing to running across a country would be running across 3 states. So I decided to do that. I ran from Pennsylvania through Maryland into West Virginia, and it just seemed like such a big accomplishment, and it was such a cool video to title. And this video was one of the first running challenges I really did, but the video I love the most that really got me into these running challenge videos I've been doing so much in the last month was racing a blindfolded 400, which is going to be my number 3 video of the year. I remember coming up with this idea and being so excited, so I got like 8 of my friends out. We all raced a lap completely blindfolded. It was insane. It's so much fun. Also, I got really injured and literally still have scars from this event. So going away from running a bit and going away from just the sheer fun of that video, number 2 was one I really put a lot of emotion, a lot of time, really focused to make it the best possible video I could possibly make. And this was while I was out in California living with Tristan and Zach, and it is living in a van in Yosemite for 72 hours. This was such a unique opportunity and such a good time between the boys, just hanging out in a national park, exploring, hiking, and just enjoying each other's company. And it's a time that we can never get back, and I'm so glad that I have it immortalized in this video. I just love that video more than anything. It's just such a great, well put together, one of my most well edited videos. But number 1 now, my favorite video that I made in all of 2020. This was by far one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, which is why it's probably a little bit biased to be my number 1 video. But this one was iconic. And this video, my number 1 video of 2020, is I ran for 24 hours straight. I literally invested an entire day into this video. I slept from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. the night before, got up midnight, ran, and then I ran every single hour on the hour until 11 p.m. that night. It was such a time commitment. I basically did nothing else besides run and film, and the video turned out amazing. Thank you guys so much for this great year. 2020 has been amazing. I can't wait to keep making videos in 2021. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.